this, that'll be one thing you'd address, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the bowling's been good. There's been very few real loose balls. And sometimes that's because the batsmen aren't being proactive enough. Other times just the quality of the bowler.
Yeah, Australia have done very little wrong so far. Very little wrong, but the essence to it could be in the next 60 balls.
Yeah, look, if one of these two guys comes off or whoever comes in next, who would you bring in next?
Well, I'd be looking at
Jimmy Nish.
Yeah, I would actually.
Yeah.
I just would. He's
maybe depends who gets out. They're all left-handers, aren't they?
They're all left-handers. But Jimmy Neesham's just a little bit different in terms of his technique and his attitude.
Credit's got to go to Australia too. The way that they've worked in the field. It's over there now. 3 for 172.
US Open, only on Sony Sports Network.
And he's in his shorts, so I think we can count him out. Jimmy Neesham on the other side of Trent Boult, their front row, definite candidate. Can't quite see Michael Bracewell on the right of Santner. Imagine he's padded up as well, so it doesn't look like Santner's in the next two options. Williamson right behind him with his tactics.
Either that or he gets prepared very late.
I'll tell you what, you know what it's like in the last 10 minutes. It can be frantic. It's almost like he's not playing.
Not without the bat.
Yep.
No.
A dream.
Oh, dream. Just not ready. Can't get the pads on you. Has there ever been a batsman walk out with that bat?
Yes,
I think there has.
Farwad Ahmed.
Bob Willis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Loz.
Farwad Ahmed in the Shield final.
What would you be thinking?
You're not.
You know, we've all left the box off.
Well, turn right when you turn left. Ended up in the tunnel.
That's a bad dream.
That's a bad dream.
Yeah.
Can't quite ever get there, eh?
Nah. No bat. Wow.
That's Tom Latham at his very best and a much-needed boundary. And that is a small milestone for Tom Latham, his best score against Australia.
That's a short boundary there, so that's smart batting. Shortest boundary on the field. Good shot. Easy to play.
Give Aaron Finch something to think about. He hasn't chased the ball, though. He's left the one person behind there. Backward point. Will he go again, Latham? Not a bad position, though.
Hey, good position.
Well, two set batters.
If they can get 8-0 from here, I'll be pretty happy with just under 260. Yeah, that's the sort of shot. I'm not sure he should be blocking those two balls.
I think he thinks that too, just looking at his body.
He's shaking his head.
Yeah, he's cross with himself.
At the very worst, you've got to be getting off strike.
You get a boundary early in the over, you're in bonus country, and then you give 2 dot balls back. You sort of lose it, but as I say, it's had said credit to Australia that just had not let New Zealand get away.
I think they can comfortably get to 250, and if someone has a day out in the last 5 overs, you can push that total up around the 270. A couple of big overs of 20.
3 for 179. 41 gone.
It's a 50 partnership from these two. Mitchell's come out with some good intent. He's got 26 off 32 balls. Just seen Latham start to warm into his walk now. Take a few extra risks. But Mitchell's the key for me. If he can take this game and be there with 3 overs to go, New Zealand are going to put a very competitive total on the board.
And there's the wagon wheel. Partnership. Pretty good either side of the wicket. What we haven't seen is them really wind up at a shot. Latham sort of chipped it around. Mitchell, I reckon he wants to really go hard. We haven't seen that yet.
I think that's a surface also. I don't think the surface is quite coming on, and they don't quite trust the bounce of it.
Yeah, but you know what it's like when you really go hard at the ball. Often it doesn't matter what the surface is like. You do get a result. Now this is a chance. With all due respect to Glenn Maxwell, you wouldn't mind facing him with 9 overs to go in a 50-over game. 2 established batsmen.
Catch! Gone. Just like that. Looking to hit it over the top of Steve Smith. Hit it straight at him. Not going to miss that. And the reflection tells it all.
Yeah, just got a bit too close to it too. He couldn't get underneath it. And maybe just a bit of a half-hearted shot again. You know, I get it. He's just trying to chip it into the onside, but he's picked out man with the safest hands in world cricket. One man there in that vicinity, straight to him. Maxwell done a good job with the ball today. Underrated with the ball. And Mitchell, just when you thought he was going to start to really up the ante, goes for 26. 4 for 179 New Zealand.
मेरा क्रिकेट सीजन कैसा रहेगा?
छक्के लगेंगे।
पर कहाँ?
अब आपका मैच सीरीज आएगा।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
England versus South Africa. Third test, Thursday, 8th September, 3:30 p.m. live on Sony Sports Network.
Well, it was Michael Bracewell.
Yeah, he was hiding with the pads on.
He's played some punishing innings, Michael Bracewell, but not against Australia.
What are we looking at? What areas does he like to hit the ball?
He's all around the ground, to be honest. He's very flexible. He's a good top-order player in domestic cricket.
Yeah.
And that's been his strong suit. The bowling side of has come late in the piece. Just well enough. Fumbled down by Stoinis in the deep, so they'll get pretty comfortable too. Early intent from Bracewell.
Yeah, straight away. It's a good shot. Nice straight bat. Wasn't mucking around, was he? Good footwork. Hit it sweet.
Max.
Hard. Very, very hard for 4. Terrific start here.
That's what you want to see. You've been calling for it, Mark Waugh. Someone to use their feet, hit the ball hard. Doesn't have to be in the air. Aim at that side screen. Bracewell's definitely giving Glenn Maxwell something to think about now.
2 of the better shots of the day. Been sitting with his pads on there for 3 hours or 2.5 hours, come out and just lovely straight bat. Good footwork.
What do you say, Smitty's a top order player?
He has been. That's predominantly was his strong suit. So an opener, bat in the top 4 in domestic cricket, played for a couple of provinces, Otago and Wellington. More in a leadership role in Wellington, a senior player, and come into international cricket very late. Gone as well, 2 in the over. So Maxwell is so often the case, can't stay out of the game.
Yeah, just a change in pace. That one was flatter and quicker. Tom Latham looking to get it over the man there. Short, fine leg. Maybe just a lack of intent. Hit it a bit harder if you want. And he's rolled over the top of it. Adam Zampa just minding his own business. Takes an easy catch, and all of a sudden, 2 and an over. And Glenn Maxwell continues a good day up for him. Good catch earlier in the day, or a super catch actually. Latham 43 from 57. Tidy innings without totally getting on top of the bowling. New Zealand 5 down with just over 8 overs to go.
Yeah, that's a game.
US Open only on Sony Sports Network.
England versus South Africa. Third test, Thursday, 8th September, 3:30 p.m. live on Sony Sports Network.
He's full on mode now.
They lose one here, I don't reckon he's ready.
Catch. Productive over for Australia in particular. It's 5 for 187, 8 overs to go. Catch.
Yeah, just chipping it to short mid wicket there. Darren Mitchell then. A couple of good shots from Bracewell to start his dig. 4 and 2. And then Tom Latham getting on strike and just scooping one to short flying leg, which will be the next ball. Yeah, just didn't look to hit it hard enough, did he?
Catch.
It's good bowling from Maxwell. Smart bowler, as you say, Hats. Underrated.
Now New Zealand are a little bit of no man's land with 8 overs to go. Matt Henry in next. And then, of course, you've got Lockie Ferguson and Trent Boult. I know you like looking at Trent Boult.
I do.
But you wouldn't put a lot on him.
No, as a racehorse, he either wins by 10 or he runs Stone Motherless last. He's not a consistent performer.
And so that's why they're at a mini sort of crossroads here. How do you play this? Can't lose 250 overs. A long way up.
I think you just got to knock it around for the next 3 overs.
Yeah, that's well and good to say, June, but I think with these two batsmen, their strengths to move the game forward. If they're thinking too much about, I've got to get through the next 4 overs, that's when Australia can pounce. I think they sort of look to take the game on. They can still hit the ball hard to the deep fielders. But these two aren't the ones that can work it around. They've sort of looked to take the game on.
I'm happy with that. Hit boundaries then. That'll do.
Yeah.
Now 250 does look a way away, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Zampa's bowled well. Coming to the end of his 10 over block. 1 for 36, 2 balls to bowl. That's outstanding.
Well, it is because he's actually bowling into the wind, so the batters are hitting with the wind to him. He's bowling at the tough end.
I think the field setting's been good too. I think Finch has
definitely
sorted these dimensions out nicely.
Yep.
Fielders have been in off the rope in certain areas. New Zealand have had very little opportunity to run twos, none to run threes at all. So he's got the dimensions sorted out nicely. It's been pretty good from Australia all round.
Q end, right off the toe.
Might be lucky he didn't get hold of that. Gone straight to Glenn Maxwell. It's over there. New Zealand 5 for 190.
Yeah, good job. 10 overs, 1 for 38. Just varied his pace enough. Didn't spin the ball a lot. Bit of hold on the pitch, but nice trajectory changes. Used the wrong one well. That one a bit slower. Right off the end of the bat from Neesham. He found the gap, but just got it on the toe.
Seven overs to go. New Zealand will be delighted with 6 runs and over from here. They want more than that. That'll get them over 230, 240, 250 mentally, 5 and over in the break on an interesting pitch. Might test Australia's nerve a wee bit, but anything under that, they'll feel they've done a really, really good job. And they have to this point.
He's still going with Maxwell too, Finch, even though he probably doesn't have to use him. Full 10.
This is the last over. They've got to get out of part-time bowlers. And Stark and Hazelwood can finish the rest.
Right on.
Couple of Kiwis in the crowd. Kane Williamson fans, steady the ship, Kane, steady the ship.
That'd be pretty popular, those hats up in that end of the country.
Surprised we haven't seen a couple of Kubras in the crowd.
No, have we seen a Cowboys jersey yet? Can't believe we haven't seen a Cowboys jersey.
You'll see a South Sydney one, no doubt.
They're everywhere, like, what, a Carlton one in AFL?
Did lift his foot. It was just the sniff of a chance there. Back down in time.
I like it when Glenn Maxwell bowls well. He's taking a good catch. He's confident going into his batting.
I just wish he'd think it's clear when he bats as when he bowls.
I think he thinks clear. He just thinks different to us. I think he's got a plan in his own head. Have a look. He just lifted his foot. Down in time. But he can do things with the bat others can't. You like to have those sort of players in your team. No, yes.
Yeah, he's frustrating, but yeah, I mean, you'd love to have him in any team, Glenn Maxwell.
See, these are the things for me that frustrate viewers and fans. It creeps into a lot of sport, actually, along with the officiating takes. It's rugby union, rugby league.
Rugby league's
I mean, that's clearly not out. It's clearly not out. Clearly not out. Yet, what are we, 2.5 minutes now?
Yeah, I just think there might be something wrong with the button. They're looking for a catch behind.
Catch behind, yeah.
I think it might be just his foot
What
dragging.
have we got left, LBW?
Well,
you know,
not quite.
You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, here we are, what are we looking at coming up just about, what time we start? 2:15? Coming up to 20 minutes to 6 local time, and we've still got 6.4 overs to go. And how much spin have we seen today?
I'm not sure what we're looking at.
Well, they're not been chasing the ball around the ground very often either. It's just really quite a frustrating part of the game.
Not sure what was going on there.
Another one. It just cannot get the timing, and Steve Smith is in the action again. Maxwell's got 4.
He has. That's very good catch here for Aaron Finch to keep him going, and just good change of pace. I think he's held that back a fraction too. And Maxwell Bracewell looking to go over the top. He's just got it right on the top of the bat. Steve Smith's just minding his own business. He's the only man within 100 yards of the bat there, and they've chipped 2 to him. Not going to drop that. New Zealand, unfortunately, falling in a hole here, right at the death. They look like they're going to get 250 all the way through this innings. Bracewell goes for 7. Mitch Santner better have his pads on because he's in. 6 for 191, the Kiwis.
They've lost 3 for 12 the last 16 deliveries, and Maxwell's taken all of those. Finch has shown the confidence he's got in to bowl him to the death. He's just pushed a bit wider than Maxwell seen him coming. Safe catch there in the end to Steve Smith.
Yeah, just got too far away from it, and a lack of pace just meant that he couldn't get the timing.
Well, he's breaking your ground here, Glenn Maxwell, because he's only bowled twice 10 overs in a one-day international here at home. Last time back in 2013 against the West Indies at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Mitch Santner in at the crease. And now these are his best bowling figures in one-day international cricket as well. And he isn't finished.
Well, you'd have to think in the World Cup in a year's time in India, he's going to play a big part with the ball. It may mean that Australia don't have to play as many specialist bowlers. That's a good over. Good over. A wicket, just a single off it. 6 for 191. 6 to go.
Look here at Glenn Maxwell's wickets. Started with the big one off Kane Williamson. Then in the last few overs, we've seen 3 quick ones. Latham disappointed with that. That one there, clever bowling. Just to throw a little bit wider to Bracewell. Another simple catch to Steve Smith. Wonderful job by Glenn Maxwell. He also bowled in the power play at the start of the game. Look at those figures. His best ever in one-day cricket. Do you give him one more, June? I think you have to.
Well, you got 2 lefties in, and he's been tough to get away. Or probably, but Mitchell and Santner, or Mitchell and Latham, the 2 big ones there. You know, 2 set batsmen. We thought that was a great chance for New Zealand to actually attack and get some runs, but it's been exactly the opposite. Hazelwood back in the attack. Well, he's 7 overs for 17. He just doesn't bowl a bad ball.
Well, we spoke for small, didn't we, Smitty, about winning those big moments, having 2 set batsmen with 10 overs to go, and it's exactly what New Zealand did. But when the moment was there to start to drive the game forward, it was Glenn Maxwell who won that moment with 3 quick wickets.
Looks like they've taken the air out of the ball the last 5 or 6 overs.
Well, that's the other thing we haven't factored in, how much softer it is, how hard it is. But the problem is, if New Zealand don't get another 40 runs here, it won't apply when Australia chase. It's hard. Just for the one.
It's just that difference in the scoreboard pressure, isn't it? You know, from 220 to 250. You don't have to make a lot of the running. You can just bat normal when you're chasing 220.
I think this is a competitive total. I don't think this surface is that easy to play on. I think we've seen a few just hold up, and Aaron Finch has kept his field up, and it's been hard to hit down the ground. I think this will be a competitive total tonight. It might swing it around a bit. The only thing that could, we hope, for Australia's sake, that the dew comes in and it skids on a lot better than it has in the first innings.
Well, there's a big contest looming, regardless of the total. It's a skipper Finch against Bolt. And the one-day internationals, it's 4 for 36 for Bolt.
Yeah, and we saw Aaron Finch have troubles against Zimbabwean khaki handers as well, and they don't swing the ball back in. You know, I think Finch, we've seen him get caught with the ball going across him, but if it can swing back at that front pad, it's going to be a challenge for him. You're right, Hads. I mean, the pitch is difficult, but I don't reckon it's a 220 pitch. I reckon it's more 240. There's not a lot of seam in it. It hasn't moved really sideways. It's just been more holding.
What we have noted, there's been no pace to just squirt it down to third man. We've seen Williamson, Australia, block that position. We know he likes there at gully. He could find no rhythm. It'd be interesting if dew plays a factor in it. It starts to skid on better at night.
Yeah, I just wonder whether the Australian bowlers who bowl taller hit the pitch from a different trajectory to the New Zealand who skid the ball. I'll get a single. Bolt's a bit of a skidder, so's Henry. You know, they zip off the pitch. Lockie Ferguson, well, he can mix it up a bit. He can bowl cross seam. But those sort of guys might skid on.
Yep. We did see Mitchell Starc swing it early. And we know if there's any swing out there tonight, Trent Boult will find it. This man will play a role too. Santner is a much improved.
Get him in, Boult. Up him back. But hey, we might see a little cameo here from Nishan, and all of a sudden, you know, that looks different.
Well, that's the thing, Australia, when they chase, and if they were only chasing 230, they're never really in a run rate hole unless they have a really poor start. So they're never going to be threatening themselves having to get 6 or 7 and over on this pitch, because the fact that New Zealand are not going to be able to manage the 250 we talked about. It's nicely worked. So found a decent hole. And Labuschagne, this might be close to the first 3. No, it's not.
US Open, only on Sony Sports Network.
Marcus Stoinis has just come off the field briefly. He's going again, Maxwell.
They'll get 2 here because of the deflection from Steve Smith, which took the pace off the ball. So good break for New Zealand.
We'll see Sean Abbott during this series. 13 games before the World Cup. The thing that wins your World Cup is depth in your squad. He's done well domestically.
Yeah, we've got Josh Inglis there, of course, as well. Sean Abbott.
I'd imagine you'd get a go at some stage with.
Yeah, he should do.
Managing Green's workload. He can play a similar role through those middle overs.
Maybe 6. Nicely worked from Neesham. Much needed. Maxwell can't quite believe it. He's done it himself to a number of bowlers over the years, so he should. Just the angle which Neesham was able to catch up with.
Yeah, it's a short side there. Probably with the wind, just chipped it. But he's a crisp hitter of the ball, Neesham. Hits it cleanly.
Another boundary now, and all of a sudden you can start looking around 235, 240.
Yep.
Surprising how many you can get when you don't think you can.
Yeah, well, we just can't work it out, can we, at the moment? Is it going to be 220? Is it going to be 240, 250? It all comes down to the blades of these two at the crease. particularly Neesham.
That's the end of the 45th. It's 6 for 208. And that's the end of Maxwell as well. Job well done.
He's had day out. Glenn Maxwell. He's bowled in the pressure overs. And look at how his day started. Unbelievable catch. Tough spot there at backward point. Get rid of the dangerous Guptill and Adam Zampa. You know not to sweep Adam Zampa. And then it was all about Glenn Maxwell. At the big wicket there of Kane Williamson. Safely caught by David Warner. Mitchell just chips it to Steve Smith at mid-wicket. And Latham, he'd like to have that one back. Sort of a nothing shot. Just as he was starting to look a bit dangerous, Bracewell, Glenn Maxwell and Steve Smith combined again.
Yeah, I know it's the nature of one-day cricket, but you'd have to look back at those dismissals, and a lot of the batsmen would be pretty cranky with themselves. I know it's early on in the season. Bit of rust there, but New Zealand have been playing a bit more cricket than Australia.
So if we do the maths now, it's a single off left. 23 deliveries to go. A run of balls over 230. So you've got to be thinking you'll get a couple of boundaries in there, all going well. 240 still a chance.
You'd be thinking run a ball, 4 boundaries. At least. So you need one of those big overs. And Neesham's a man that can do it. Key for New Zealand now, though, is not to leave any balls out there. You don't want to be bowled out. You want to give yourself a best chance to get as close as you can to 250. You might get the opportunity to see Bolt in action, Junior. Rocks or diamonds, you reckon?
He's a good number 11. The best 11 in world cricket, I'll say that.
Nathan Lyon might have something to say about that.
Lino's 10, isn't he? Josh Hazlewood 11. Bolt's got a lot more shots than Josh Hazlewood. Dot ball, more bowled. Doesn't bowl a lot of slow balls. Joshy Hazlewood. He's been the best white ball bowler in world cricket, hasn't he, for 12, 15 months? Knuckleball.
Knuckleball. Let's pick that up at IPL.
Lino said he was working on the knuckleball. Not Lino, Josh Hazlewood. I think he should work on the knuckleball. Nathan Lyon.
Nathan. He's got a new ball.
He's got a Karen ball, has he?
He says he's got a new one.
Little touch, straight through. And Neesham, all that invention is not coming to fruition today.
Well, it's a shame. You better just lower the score a bit more, Smithy. Now, I'm not sure it's the pitch to play that shot on. Not a lot of pace in this pitch. I'd love to see him just stand there and whack it over square leg. Gets a little bit of help on the way through to Alex Carey off the face. And that just slows New Zealand up. Just when we thought they might really be looking at 240s, he's upset with himself, Neesham. He's gone for 16, run a ball, 7 for 210. Where is...
मेरा क्रिकेट सीजन कैसा रहेगा?
छक्के लगेंगे।
पर कहाँ?
अब आपका इंग्लैंड सीरीज आएगा।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
Very effective for New Zealand. One of the higher wicket takers in ODI cricket.
He's got genuine pace. Be good to watch him. Might be entertaining with the bat. He's got a job to do here with 3 overs to go, but he's in the team to bowl fast. This one here, Junior. Yeah, I'm not sure. If he had his time over again, he'd want to play that one. It's a little feather. Easy catch to Carey. Much emotion from Josh Hazelwood there, though.
I don't think he even appealed.
No.
Single for Henry. And with 3 overs to go, New Zealand are 7 for 210.
I don't know if that's a great single there.
No.
Mitchell Starc. He talked about he had sore ribs. To watch his toes here with Mitchell Starc. Go around that wicket. In at those toes. One of the best at this stage of the game, Starkey. Mop up the tail. You need that in your team.
I think you just got to, if it goes through the keeper, you've got to run and by too. You've got to talk about that. These two, get Santon on strike.
Yeah, Matt Henry, when we first joined forces here about 20 minutes ago, the last thing on his mind would be batting for the last 3 overs. It's been a procession.
Well, just as we looked at the dugout, Santner had his thongs on and his shorts. It's all gone downhill quickly.
That's where Australia's done well today. As New Zealand have looked like they're getting momentum into the game to drive it forward. They've won all those big moments. Still, you can't judge a wicket yet until both teams bat on it.
This is when the batters should be batting. These are those balls you were talking about, those dot balls.
You need a batsman that's been there a while, a hitter. It's tough for new players against this sort of quality bowling. It looks fairly similar to the Townsville pitch to me.
Yeah, I agree.
That tennis ball bounce. I just got to get off strike, Henry.
It was 141. That wasn't enough, was it? Townsville.
141.
Wasn't it? Last game?
Australia, yeah. Well, I suppose there'll be a few batsmen thinking of that in the Australian outfit. Won't be enough here either.
.230. Got to be thinking 230 here, Mitch Santner.
You'll take that, Smithy, 230?
Yeah, I would take 230.
You're in the game with 230. I think you're in the game now. I don't think this wicket's that easy to play on. Good wind viz there. 68% Australia.
I thought from the get-go 240 would be a good chase for Australia. A tough chase.
Nicely hit. Lovely shot from Santner.
That's a beauty. You won't be happy with that delivery. Mitchell Starc, half volley wide of off stump. And you've still got to put it away. It's a big boundary out there. Just missed his mark there, didn't he? Good enough to whack it away, Mitch Santner. Mid-off up, of course, so it's not the delivery Starc wanted to bowl.
Good player, Mitchell Santner. He's a really talented all-rounder, and sometimes I just wonder whether he believes that. Even the amount of cricket that he's played so far, he's back himself more. He is a terrific white ball bowler.
Yeah, I put Ashton Agar in the same category, actually. Talented bat and ball. You know, whether the self-belief's quite there. No, not happy with that.
Just Santner's
Chip over the top, maybe. Yeah, just over. Got a hand to it. David Warner. Just right on the end of the right. hand. Not a bad little over for New Zealand there. 2 overs to go, 7 for 219.
Ashtonega, I'd take that.
US Open only on Sony Sports Network.
England versus South Africa. Third test, Thursday, 8th September, 3:30 p.m. live on Sony Sports Network.
Agar's got better, actually.
Yeah,
He's got a bit more confidence. That's the problem when you're only short, fellow. You just can't get that hand up. But that was a handy over for New Zealand.
Right, 12 balls, 12 singles, good enough to 230.
Yeah, you'll take that.
Yeah, anything over that. There's one of them.
Would you have taken that? You're going to take them all, I suppose.
Nope.
You wouldn't have taken it?
I wouldn't have taken that. And I reckon Aaron Finch now has got a decision to make. Santon will go down to chat to his batter about getting off strike, but I'd imagine he squeezed that ring.
Well, this is your runner-by scenario.
Yeah. Or just go for glory.
Yeah.
Don't muck around.
Oh, he'll have a
for
crack.
a boundary.
I think Matt Henry will have a crack here. And he did, but he didn't. And Mitchell Stark's long arms get in the way.
He's got a good set of hands, Mitchell Stark. Once again, another catch of that short mid-wicket. He's going for broke there, Henry. The bat's just turning his hand, and he's got a great set of hands there, Mitchell Stark. Help out his big mate there, Josh Hazlewood. That's his second wicket.
That's a good catch. That was an awkward height where you've got to get those hands up around chest high but away from you, so it's hard to grab onto it. Wicket's been a real catching spot today, so that shows that the wicket's just holding. Lockie Ferguson comes in front of Trent Bolt. A long ball, can't he, Lockie?
He can. But I think he's, at this stage, it's best to push and just go. New Zealand were 3 for 179 after the 41st over.
Yeah, so say 3 for 180, round it off. 9 overs to go, 7 wickets in the shed. Gee, you'd be disappointed not to get 250.
So fine leg third man up, but on this pitch that's not a huge issue because there's not a lot of pace to work with. Although they've had a rethink and mid-off comes up. Fine leg goes back, but pretty square.
Aaron Finch needs to bring himself into a short cover. You don't want to see a one there, then Santner hit 2 boundaries.
Job done, Lockie Ferguson. Cover and mid-wicket, as you say, very, very productive today. Very busy.
It's funny, mid-wicket, particularly in T20 cricket, is never used inside the circle. I think it's an area where you can create a lot of chances in there. Yeah, you just see the bat just roll over, smothered the ball, but it was a good catch. It wasn't an easy catch.
Crash square for 1.
He's been at his best today, Josh Hazlewood. He's only gone for 1 boundary. That was Conway early.
Conway was the one player that really hit the ball cleanly. He looked in a different, looked like a different game when he was playing today. Well, this is a free hit for L. Ferguson. It's 0, wicket, 2, 4 or 6, no odd numbers.
It's an odd shot.
Well, this is an odd number, a 1. Well, there's still 1 ball left. I'm thinking it might have been the last ball there, but
A 3. There haven't been any 3s today, so
no, haven't looked like a 3.
no, it just hasn't.
There's a pitch map of Josh Hazelwood. He's operated pretty much back at the 6 metre mark all day. Ball pretty short.
Little touch down the leg side. It was certainly a sound. And umpire Sam Nagase confirms it.
Well, that's another batsman that's going to shake their head. If you're going to get out caught, you want to be having a real crack at it. Good change of pace by Hazelwood. Doesn't bowl a lot of slower balls. He's got lucky there, one down the leg side. Just a feather by Santner. Alex Carey has plenty of time to catch up with it down the leg side. Yep, should have hit it. Should have hit it hard. Trent Boult does come to the crease. Santner 13 from 13. Just need a couple of boundaries in this last over, New Zealand.
It's just, honestly, and that's the hope they've got here, New Zealand. If they can get wickets at key times, it's not easy to come out and hit this ball very far on the surface. It's not that easy. So they've just got to continue to make sure that new players are coming in. So you rate them on that.
It's number 11, averaging what? What was it, 13?
9.76.
Oh, just under 10. I'll take 9 runs from him here, right here.
Well, he's at the non-strikers end. Lockie Ferguson on strike. And we're into the last over bowl by Mitchell Starc. And he will be on strike, Trent Boult.
He's one of the more humorous batsmen I've seen. He commentates, he gestures, he fiddles around.
Look at the wicket here. Slow ball by Hazelwood. Little strangle down leg side. He's dirty with himself there. Santner, you're thinking about just getting off strike rather than hitting that ball hard. I tell you how Trent Boult works. Normally works on it's hard to hit a moving target.
Smash down the mid-off.
Look at that. Creamed it. Just the single, though.
Can't coach that, can he?
No, that's what he should have played, just the late cut.
It's like a line drive.
I like how he got that front foot right out of the way.
Yeah, give yourself a bit of leverage. Getting back on strike.
Just a boundary to get to 230.
Yeah, I think he might put up one over the ropes here. Is he going to whack at the cow corner or slap it over wide mid-off?
Well, he was practicing the guide over third man.
36s in his test career.
There you go, 36s. That's more than probably me and you, Smithy.
Yep, absolutely.
78 tests. That's good going. That'll do.
That'll do all right. That's 230 up.
That's the shot he was looking for, wasn't it?
Yep.
Not a great delivery.
No. He's lucky he didn't go for 6, actually, over wide mid-off.
He's asking also, was it above the waist?
Above the waist. He'll start umpiring. Yeah, he just hasn't got it right a couple of times, Mitchell Starc. We saw Santner whack him over mid-off, half volley.
Well, I'm quite sure he was thinking there, Trent Boult. It's like he sent Lockie Ferguson back, and then he decided to run again.
Don't try and work out what he's thinking.
No.
You go mad. This could go anywhere.
What do you think he's thinking? I'm thinking I've got to get my feet away from the stumps and then I'll decide whether I swing at it.
I just think he's whacking it over sort of cover area.
He'll get back for 2, surely.
Oh,
Got to keep going. No.
Oh, what? How do you get one there?
He bowls over 145.
That has to be 2.
Nathan Lyon's a really good guy to talk to about that.
I want to see what he was doing running up the pitch here. Oh, you got to go. Would have made it easy.
No way. He wasn't never
No
going.
way. What are you talking about?
He was never going.
He was going. Lucky sent him back.
Last ball. I'll take it on. It was there to be hit from side on. One stump to aim at. Australia miss on this occasion, but they'll be pretty happy with their 50 overs in the park. They have restricted New Zealand to 9 for 232, and regardless of the conditions, when Aaron Finch said you bat first, he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think he would be, and I don't think New Zealand will be totally unhappy. I mean, they will be disappointed with some of their dismissals. They probably think they should have got 250, but I think they're aware that this pitch is holding. Unless it starts to quicken up in the second innings, it's going to be a tough chase for Australia.
Yeah, I think Aaron Finch would be very happy. He sent New Zealand in. I thought his bowling changes today was first class. I thought the fielders backed him up today. They were really sharp in that ring, starting off with that outstanding catch to Glenn Maxwell. But he'll be a happy man, Aaron Finch. We've got a job to do now with the bat.
It's been an outstanding performance by Australia in the park, and one of the standouts for them today is with Megan Barnard.
Yeah, key wickets and a blinder of a catch. Glenn Maxwell, you had the Midas touch out there.
Yeah, it was a nice little day out there. New Zealand batted really well for the first half of the game, and we were able to really tie them up there and actually restrict them to a score which I think we can chase.
Yeah, happy with this total?
Yeah, really happy. I think under lights it might skid on a little bit more. It was a little bit slow at the start, but yeah, they batted really well, and we were able to sort of get a few wickets and hold them up at the back end.
And just on that catch, it was pretty specky from where we were sitting, an early contender for catch of the summer.
Yeah, I think it'll probably get beaten at some stage. I'm a bit older and stiffer, so I don't move as well, but it was nice for that to stick.
Good on you, Maxie. Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
And that is the catch. That is the catch, and it set the tone for Australia in the park today, and they'd be pretty happy with their out cricket.
I think they would be. They bowled pretty well. There wasn't a lot of loose stuff, and they made New Zealand work hard for their runs. Here's the New Zealand scorecard on the McDonald's scorecard. Gupta went early for 6. Conway looked good for his 46. Williamson started to show some form. Lathan and Mitchell through the middle looked like they could have taken the game a lot further, but they both fell to Maxwell and Bracewell, Neesham and Santa. Never quite got going, but they chipped in with boundaries, and in the end 232 for the Kiwis.
If you have a look at the bowling card here, Josh Hazlewood was outstanding. He only went for one boundary today, and he got 3 for 31. Stark bowled good up front, got the border shape. But the one for me today was Glenn Maxwell. He bowled some tough overs for the captain at the start, in the power play and at the back end. And Adam Zampa just continues his success there in those middle overs. But all in all, pretty good day out for Australia with the ball.
Yep, they're going after 233. 233 to win game 1 of the Chappell Hadley series. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll look at those first innings highlights and hear the thoughts of Kerry O'Keefe, Nathan Lyon and Brendan Julian.
मेरा क्रिकेट सीजन कैसा रहेगा?
छक्के लगेंगे।
पर कहाँ?
अब आपका इंग्लैंड सीरीज आएगा।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
US Open, only on Sony Sports Network.
He might even jump out and crash you down the ground as well.
Lovely. You're never too far away from a breathtaking shot when he's batting. He does, but he's ready for it, Rishabh Pant. He's playing with Leach's mind at the moment. Now down the ground. 4-4-6. Rishabh Pant says, bring it on, Jack Leach, I'm here for you.
I've seen this many times, and all those gambles I've seen, Rishabh Pant win those.
Cuts that one. And we'll get 4 for it. Gets the single. Might get more than that. Timed it beautifully. That's another 50 for Rishabh Pant. Further evidence why he's batting number 5 for India in Test cricket. 10th, 15th Test cricket to go with his 400s.
Lovely shot. Take 4. That cover drive is always there, waiting for the ball to be overcooked. Oh, lovely timing. Showing us everything Pant. Moves into the 80s.
He goes again, heaving away into the leg side. Another boundary. Goes again and he falls over. He is lying completely on his back in the middle of Edgbaston, and the ball has gone for 4. This is extraordinary.
There is a man and the boundary. He will cut it off. So should be just a single. It should be 2. He gets there. Rishabh Pant gets there. 100 from just 89 balls. What a player this young man is. He will play the orthodox game. He will suddenly do something audacious, but he will ensure that you never ever stop watching this great game of ours.
How very, very true. Wonderful stuff from Rishabh Pant. I would say in those 89 balls, he's played 1 bad shot.
I think the idea for a second came a little late.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think when he played the shot, he saw the man down there, saw Leach down there, and then when he got the other end, whether it was the fact that he thought it was Leach who doesn't have a bullet arm, or the fact that he thought, oh, come on, there's only one with his 20-yard sprint, I can do this with a desperate dive.
It just got a bit tougher. It just got a bit tougher because Rishabh Pant has taken a liking to Jack Leach all over again, and has just sent his economy rate soaring over 7 and over with that 6.
When those 2 balls in succession there, one was a bit short of a length, not a great delivery from Leach, so he's going to inevitably push it further up.
And he goes again. The hand comes off the bat, as we've seen so often, but it never ever comes in the way of the distance. This is a colossal 6. This is a huge over. He's gone through with the shot, and inevitably when Rishabh Pant goes through with the shot, it reaches the boundary. That is, in a nutshell, everything you will see about the modern game. An off-spinner bowling a bouncer that's been pulled to the boundary.
Goes down the ground again. Thunking shot down the ground.
फूल जरी हो गया।
Resurrection of a damn soul.
A big slam. Played in Big Apple. Featuring big games, big aces, and big faces. No, bigger faces. Expect big wins and bigger upsets on the biggest stage. US Open. Go big or go home. US Open. Only on the Sony Sports Network.
It's Jadeja. Takes the man on. Couple of bounces, skips into the boundary cushions.
Lovely, lovely. There's something about the straight bat shot down the ground.
This is not even a push, it's just a bat coming down and meeting the ball. Another full delivery, another very good shot from Jadeja. Stokes gives up the chase. Jadeja pulls out a glorious cover drive.
What a shot this is. Nowhere near half volley. Stretching with that front foot. Hit through the line.
50 for Jadeja as well. He's watched the action at the other end most of the time, but he's an invaluable batsman. Oh, and there comes the celebration.
Oh, this one's flicked away. So the fielders come in from the boundary. What does Jadeja do? Next ball? Well, thank you for the gap. 4 more.
Full on his legs. The field, like you said, has come in. Finds the gap. It's a terrific innings from him.
This one smashed through the covers. Is it going to go all the way? It is. And Jadeja brings up a magnificent century.
Just continuing his rich vein of form. He had a big 100 in India recently. And this one is in England. When India was in desperate trouble. It's been the Jadeja Pant story. That average of 37.25 is a pure batter's average.
There's that celebration. Very well earned, deserved century for Ravindra Jadeja. And don't they love it? The Indian balcony, Virat Kohli front and centre as ever. He's very big on applauding his teammates. And the Edgbaston crowd appreciative of such a knock that they've witnessed.
मेरा क्रिकेट सीजन कैसा रहेगा?
छक्के लगेंगे।
पर कहाँ?
अब आपका मैच सीरीज आएगा।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
मेरा क्रिकेट सीजन कैसा रहेगा?
छक्के लगेंगे।
पर कहाँ?
अब आपका इंग्लैंड सीरीज आएगा।
इंग्लैंड वर्सेस इंडिया।
The resurrection of a damn soul.
The Trans-Tasmanian rivals are set to lock horns. Don't miss the Thunder Down Under. Australia versus New Zealand. First ODI, Tuesday, 6 September, 9:50 a.m. Live on Sony Sports Network.
First set. Ready. Play.
A big slam. Played in Big Apple. Featuring big games, big aces and big faces. No, bigger faces. Expect big wins and bigger upsets on the biggest stage. US Open. Go big or go home. US Open. Only on the Sony Sports Network.
And Sky is still in form. That's driven for 4.
Nicely timed, a bit of width from David Willey. Beautiful shot, Surya Kumar Yadav. Oh, it's lovely. Those are 2 gorgeous shots. This lad can really play. As easy as you like, he strokes the first one wide of the off stump through backward point. And this one is just helped away over the leg side for 6. Lovely. It wasn't a long half volley. He had to get his hands high and hit that on the top of the bounce. Cut away powerfully behind square. So starts with a boundary off Livingston. Helped away leg side and behind square, so another boundary, a bit short from Livingston. Hit sweetly through the leg side